So take a quick look at the new prototype. If you want to see more, just kick back, listen to Don, and stick around.
You're listening to The Dangerous Mind of Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov. No excuses, no BS, no pants.
So I'm going to call this my 416 killer. As you can tell by the form factor, it's definitely changed from the previous prototype. I'm going to call this version 3.0. And so what I did was I took the circuit, I made a couple of little changes. I changed the form factor of the circuit, fabricated it so that it would fit inside this mic body. Now this mic body, this is a Nakamichi CM300, which you may not have heard before. You may not know that this microphone exists. Because back in the 70s and 80s, there's a Japanese company that's still in existence called Primo. They make microphone capsules. And they built a bunch of microphones for different companies. It was actually the same microphone that they built and private labeled it for different companies. This one is branded for Tascam. This one was for Nakamichi. They did it for a bunch of other companies as well. And it was the same exact microphone. They all have the same circuit, same capsule, same body. And these were the favorite microphones of the taper community, right? I found out that basically in the 70s and 80s, if you went to a Grateful Dead show to tape it, you probably brought these microphones. So if you've ever heard a Grateful Dead bootleg from the 70s and 80s, it was probably done on one of these microphones. And so the circuit inside, very simple, and the very noisy. And it ran on these great batteries that became obsolete in the 90s. They stopped making this cylindrical 9-volt battery that would go in here. And once that happened, once they stopped making it, people stopped using these microphones. They just kind of threw them in the closets and garages, damp basements, wherever. And then about maybe 10 years after that, somebody discovered that you could run these things on a pair of 6-volt dog collar batteries. So you could run it at 12 volt and it sounded pretty good. So these microphones are pretty neat. And so what I did was I really liked the capsule on this microphone. And this actually, you can see this has a head basket on it. This head basket came with this Tascam when I bought this Tascam. And they all did. And a lot of times the head basket, if you find one of these microphones, the head basket's gone or it's split in half or something. Because again, these microphones are 40 years old or more. And with the head basket on, it adds a little bit more body to it. And it also helps it become a great pop filter. So I can be right up on top of it. I think it sounds pretty damn good. I really like it a lot, and especially with my new circuit in there and the capsule on here. I think this actually, I really think that this actually fulfills my craving here to build this prototype. I think I really like this a lot. This is how much I like this. I actually gigged with this microphone, starting the day after I put it together. The first time I plugged it in, I was like, wow, okay, that's a sound I really like. That's a usable sound. So I've used this microphone this week on about 65 commercial tags for a big national brand. And they came out great. So trial by fire, put my reputation on the line with a microphone I built. I was that confident. So I like this a lot. You'll probably be seeing a lot more of this microphone, because it's going to get a lot of use. And
it's great with character voices, too. It's got that nice forwardness. It kind of creeps a little bit forward.
This thing's going to cut through a mix amazingly, right? It's got this nice forward mid-range, and the top is smooth. Really, there's really no sibilance problems. I have no sibilance issues with it. And the bottom isn't heavy. The bottom feels very natural. So overall, I really like this microphone a lot. I think I'm going to live with this version of the prototype and actually just start banging out different versions of this microphone using different capsules, just kind of experimenting, see what else is out there. But I really like this a lot. I want to know what you think. So leave a comment. Tell me what you think of the new prototype, the 3.0, my 416 killer. And absolutely, the 416, a lot of people love the 416, but it's problematic. It is problematic. We've talked about this. The top end, it's not meant to be used this close. The top end will take the top of your head off, and the bottom end is a little bit too bloomy. But this, I think that kind of hits the sweet spot. I want to know what you think. All right? Leave a comment. Until next time, this is Mark Yoshimoto Nemkov, fading to black.